Boom! What's up, Waves Capital? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. And in this quick video, I simply want to talk to you about why I believe the winter rally for the stock market has kicked off a bit early this year. But more importantly, what I really want to spend time on this video is just going down my watch list with you guys and talking to you about a few names that I'm very excited about at the moment and a few names that I've also been loading up on over the past few weeks in anticipation of this winter rally. Okay, so there are a few names, I would say 6 to 8 names that we're going to be looking at today that are really exciting me on the charts. We will do a little rapid fire TA or technical analysis because many of these names just broke significant lines of resistance with the price action that we saw today, which is October 25th. And I really just want to do, again, a rapid fire TA, talk to you guys about some upside price targets and a few exciting catalysts, primarily earnings calls for these names over the coming weeks because a small cap earnings season is coming up and that should be a very exciting time. Okay, so that's the breakdown of the video, you guys. I know you saw this. This is going over historical monthly returns for the S&P 500, which is just the summary of pretty much the overall US equity market. So we'll look at this in transition to taking a look at the charts just to reinforce the fact that, you know, winter rallies are a thing. The holiday season, everyone's a bit more festive. So we'll take a look at this, but I do want to kick off the video by reading over the Trade Alert newsletter that I sent out this morning, just because it summarizes my thoughts about what's going on in the market and really just, again, why not read what I've already summarized, okay? So let's read over this and then we'll dive into everything else. And again, really just scroll down the watch list and do some rapid fires. So it is Tuesday, and what a day it is for the home team. Small caps and growth stocks took a hard hit yesterday, but they're making a comeback today, and they're making it in a big way. We recognize the opportunity that yesterday's pullbacks presented, and we seized that opportunity. As you know, I deployed more capital into calls yesterday than I have in a very long time, and I'm extremely glad that I did. I don't want to speak too early here, but it's looking like those winter waves that we've been suiting up for have officially begun to roll in. So if you guys watched the last video I posted on Bitcoin, on RIOT, I think on RIOT and Coinbase actually, and Bitcoin as well, of course. But I did talk about how I had a massive cash stack, just some dry powder at the ready that I was ready to deploy this week. Deployed some yesterday as small caps really took a hit, and it couldn't have paid off better just 2 days into the week. And as we close out the pretty volatile month of October. Okay, so exciting times, you guys. Before we move on, I really do want to let existing members of the portfolio and newsletter group, just members of Waves Capital, know. You guys, I know that some of you have not been receiving emails lately, or at least I know it's more popular of an issue than it has been. So no, you're not alone. But unfortunately, I am working with Teachable to take care of this ASAP, but it is taking some time. Until then, though, please make sure this is checked in your Teachable account settings, that you're receiving instructional and promotional emails from me, and also check your spam folder, just because I know that happens to certain people as well. So a little PSA there for existing members of Waves Cap, because I put a lot of time into these newsletters every morning. That's pretty much what my entire day up until the afternoon really does consist of. So the fact that some of you aren't getting it really bums me out, and of course you're not getting what you're paid for either. So just keep that in mind, but no, I am working on it. Moving on. As we discussed on Sunday, this is the biggest week of Q3 earnings season. So far, reports out of companies within the S&P 500 have been surprisingly good, with roughly 71% beating expectations as of today. Also keep in mind though, right before recording this, Google and Microsoft just reported earnings. They did not do so well. So hey, maybe there could be a better, another opportunity in the case you guys are watching this, October 26th, maybe the markets are red because of those poor earnings. Hey, I still think these winter waves are coming, regardless of large caps disappointing on earnings. So it might be another opportunity to buy in the case you guys are watching this and the markets are red. So just keep that in mind. Another significant macro event to be mindful of is the Fed meetings that take place on November 1st and 2nd. We won't be discussing those today, but we will cover that subject as the date approaches. The macroeconomic backdrop remains uncertain, but as we know, the economy and the capital markets are two separate things. The markets recover well before the economy does due to their efficiency at pricing in foreseeable headwinds. I expect further volatility over the coming weeks, but resistance lines across the board have been broken today, and the technicals now fall heavily in favor of the bulls. And we will talk about why the technicals fall in favor and those resistance lines that have been broken, as we dive in the charts, of course. But at this moment in time, I'd consider myself a cyclical bull once more. Boy, does it feel good. I'm thankful and validated that we were well equipped with calls coming into today, and I'm pumped to see what's in store for the portfolio as our favorite small caps kick off their earnings season. Cheers to a big day, team. Let's keep riding these winter waves into the holiday season. So dig it and sing it. Dig the little spooky skeleton dragon with you guys. But yeah, you guys, cheers Waves Cap. If you guys are part of Waves Capital already, cheers to you. You know, we've been expecting this for a while. We've been loading up, and really we have, played this pretty damn accordingly, at least as we head into the new month. And again, I'm really excited for what the true winter months of November, December, January, even going into February, because those are pretty exciting seasons as well, which we will look at historically. Yeah, you guys, cheers to you if you're part of the team. And of course, if you do want to join and become an official member of Waves Capital, know how I'm trading on a day-to-day basis. You want the daily newsletters. First link in the description box down below takes you to this page. Of course, from there you click on this puppy, and then it takes you to this page, which is where you can sign up to be a member of Waves Capital with any of these pricing plans. So zoom in a little bit there. $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months. Try it free for a week, and if you don't like it, just unsubscribe. Or you can unsubscribe at any time. The thing is, you guys, the reason I do a 7-day free trial is because I trust you guys will stick around. So if you want to step up your trading investing game, not just to copy me, but to learn from my success, learn from my failures. That's the real point. And really what this is for is the rationale that I explain behind my trades in the newsletters. But also, of course, you just get a complete breakdown, which is updated daily, of my personal portfolio and what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. So if you're interested, once again, first link down below in the description box. I'll see you in there, and welcome to the winning team in advance. Also, like and subscribe, because it's been a while since I asked for that, and it would mean a lot. So, moving on, again, we will just rapid fire down this list. RIOT, Coinbase, some ChargePoint, Plug Power, LUNAR, SOFI, Unity, some exciting names. But again, before that, let's just take a quick look and just take a look at how the S&P 500, which again is not these hyper growth stocks, but again, the S&P 500 is pretty much the U.S. equity market summed into a single chart or single performance indicator. So it makes the most sense to just take a look at that. So, you guys can see here, just looking at it, historical monthly returns. This is the S&P 500 index, total number up or down each month. The real important one I want to look at is this, but we'll take a look at this one first. So total number up or down each month. So this is years from 1928 to 2022. There's a total of 94 years. So in December, you can see that of the 96 years. Of those is it 94 or 96? 94 years, I'm sorry. Of those 94 years, that's correct. 69 of those years, nice. 69 of those years have seen positive returns, and only 25 have seen negative. And as you can see here, 69 is the highest of all of these months. April being second, which is interesting, but 69 of those 94 years have been positive, which is a good sign in itself. But really, once again, the average percent change each month from 1928 to 2022. This is the important one. So, of all the months, in the calendar year, you can see that December comes in second, with weirdly July coming in first. It's probably because May and June are typically pretty rough months, so there's just a bounce back in July. 4th of July too, you got the American patriotism. Patriotism means a lot, you guys, so keep that in mind as well. But you can see here that December and April are tied for second, okay? So the average percentage return each month, each of these months over the past 94 years, December has seen an average of a 1.4% return over that near century period, right? So again, not the most, but it is up there, and you can see that specifically December and January, those peak winter months, are just the most consistently returning months of the year. Again, it's just the holiday season, the new year. Everyone's a little more excited. Capital losses have been wiped in December and stuff. So there are reasons for that, but again, I don't really need to drive home the point that there are these winter rallies, because I'm sure most of you know that at this point. But winter rallies are a real thing. Let's talk about some of the stocks that I'm really excited about going into the winter. Okay, so first off, Riot blockchain. Obviously, the last video I made was on Riot and Coinbase. Pretty much panning out exactly as I described in that video, which is extremely validating, of course. But again, it helps that Bitcoin's doing well, doing beautiful as well right now. So let's actually take a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has broken above, and I mean, this is a legit break. We broke up above here, did break back below this line of resistance over here, medium-term resistance on the downtrend beginning in August. So broke above that a little bit, hugged the line a little too tight, did worry me a bit, but right now we are way above this line of resistance, and I do think more upside is way more likely than not from a technical perspective. Okay, so Riot, I do want to talk to you about the fact that Riot has officially broken out of this bull flag. Members of Waves Cap, you know this. We pretty much talk about Riot every day in the newsletter, and we've just been eyeballing this bull flag pattern, or coined two-wave pattern, for a very long time. Again, parabolic move up followed by descending triangle. This descending triangle is getting a little long relative to that big move up, which does make it more of a two-wave. That's what I would describe as a two-wave pattern, as opposed to a bull flag. Is the length of the descending triangle relative to the parabolic move up. So this I would consider a two-wave, but resistance here has been broken. Again, we broke above conservative resistance, which is this cyan line right here. Overall resistance is this white line right here, because you're just using the tippy top of those candles, those candle wicks. And we closed a day above that, and Bitcoin's looking good. Riot is severely undervalued. Riot has earnings coming up on November 14th. I mean, it would surprise me heavily if they did not impress on those, given the performance of Bitcoin and just given Riot's competency as a company. So ultimately, you guys, I do think Riot can see a second wave. I do think Riot will retest the March 2022 bottom over here. I'm sorry, January 2022 bottom over here at just under $13. When that happens, I don't know exactly when, but I do think it happens over the winter months. Maybe it happens in January of 2023, but I do think that during this next wave at some point, Riot can see $13. So that's Riot. Let's move on to Coinbase quick. Coinbase, let's get rid of that. Unfortunately, I didn't get to buy Coinbase calls, but hey, I have a massive share position in Coinbase. So any upside there, I'm happy with. Coinbase did break above the line of resistance on the shorter term descending channel. On top of that, you can see, if you just want to draw this right here, Coinbase broke above this resistance long ago. But the main thing here is this shorter term descending channel, kind of rangy channel, very organic. I should say not offensive. Those are weird adjectives, but chill, ascending, descending channel. And Coinbase did break above resistance on that. I do think at some point Coinbase will retest those March 2022 lows at 150. I said this in the last video, so won't spend much time here, but $150, I do think Coinbase can see it. When is, of course, the question. I don't know, but hey, if that's why I'm happy to just hold shares, because that is a 2x from $75, almost exactly, to $1.50. Excuse me. So moving on, Apple, Tesla bouncing back a little bit. That's not surprising. Plug Power is another. So I'm just really going to go down the watches here, you guys. So we'll go over all of these right here and close it out with, I think, Matterport. Okay, so yeah, perfect. I think, what is that, 8 charts? So let's kick it off. Plug Power real quick. Plug Power, did break below. This is what a lot of charts look like right now, you guys. We're in a massive kind of wedge pattern or ascending channels. Broke below supports just about a week or two ago when we saw those big sell-offs. But I do think that we are going to bounce back. I do think this earnings season, Plug, of which announces on November 10th, will shed some light on some of these small caps that have gotten so obliterated. And I do think if Plug is capable of breaking back into this wedge formation, the symmetrical wedge pattern right here, that we can test resistance on this wedge. December 21st, just where the cursor falls, that would take us to just under $30. And what I look at a lot of time, you guys, is average analyst estimates. So let's move my fat head. So you can see here 1 year price target, which is just TradingView just compiles the all of the analyst ratings and averages them out. And that 1 year price target average comes to $33 or 2x from here. So, $30 for a 1 year price target, even like in the case that you see optimism return to the markets and this winter rally really initiate. I mean, Plug and many other names just saw, like Plug just saw $32 in August, right? When the macro climate was probably a little worse actually, and pricing in was a little worse. So I do think it's very possible that Plug almost goes up to reclaim $30 by the end of the year. ChargePoint has just broken above. This is exciting right here. Get rid of that. ChargePoint has just broken above short-term resistance, this red line right here on the downtrend, the high of which was in September. But ChargePoint, great company again, you guys. The infrastructure, what is it? Inflation relief. Why can't I think of the name of it? Inflation Reduction Act bill, which is pretty much more of a green energy bill than an Inflation Reduction Act bill. Anyway, a lot of government funding going into EV charging stations, ChargePoint of which is the market leader. I think ChargePoint is going to crush it in earnings. Unfortunately, their earnings aren't until later. I think their earnings are early December now. But ultimately, you guys, technically, I do think we can reclaim this channel. I do think ChargePoint can reclaim $21 by the end of the year. LUNAR. This is an exciting one, up 10% today. At one point up, I think like 13 or 14% or something. But LUNAR has a crazy analyst price target as well. LUNAR has a one-year target of 1450, which is 90% up from here. And I do think that's LUNAR can achieve that pretty soon. I know like JP Morgan has some crazy like $30 price target for LUNAR or something by the end of next year, which I don't put much weight on, but technically, LUNAR, from even a bounce perspective, is a fun trade right now because you can see that there is this short-term line of resistance, similar to the one we just saw on ChargePoint. But LUNAR has a lot of room to bounce just to retest this as like a quick trade. So another like 12% up, 11.5%, 12% up, just to test resistance prior to their earnings on the 2nd. And I do think that they will impress on their earnings report, given just the growth nature and of this company and their involvement in kind of producing a very niche component of EVs, being the LiDAR system. So LUNAR, exciting. And ultimately, I do think that LUNAR can probably test this broken line of supports as new resistance, TA101. If that happens mid-December, that would take us above $12, almost to $12.50. So that's LUNAR. Take a look at SOFI, Unity, and then we'll close it out with Matterport. SOFI, looking amazing. I mean, SOFI, you guys know, if you've been paying attention to the channel, that SOFI has been one of my largest call positions in a while. Today, those calls obviously did very well. SOFI announces earnings on November 1st. JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, all the banks crushed it on earnings a week or so ago. SOFI is banking 2.0. I think SOFI should do very well and in their earnings report. And SOFI, relative to their revenue, which is the amount of revenue they do is insane. So annual revenue, or let's do quarterly revenue. Over the past couple of quarters, you can see their revenue growth is insane, 350 mil, 380 mil. So they're going on to do, almost 1.5 bill in revenue in 2022 probably. And the market cap of this stock is $5 billion, which is insane from considering how fast this company is growing. So ultimately, I think SOFI is easily a double-digit stock. I don't know when it gets there, but I do think SOFI can probably reclaim this channel right here and make its way up to, I'm not going to say new 2022 highs, but I do think that SOFI, I think SOFI belongs above $10, and really it's just a matter of when, not if there. Unity is so ridiculously oversold in my mind right now. So Unity, did just reach yesterday new all-time lows, and I loaded up on calls when Unity did see those new all-time lows. Unity really kind of an underperformer in the market today, but regardless, I'm still really excited about what this stock can do because the future potential of this stock is so inarguable in my mind. Short term, maybe see more pain, but it doesn't seem very likely to me given just the nature of the markets right now. And I do think we are gonna bounce back, primarily small caps and growth stocks that have been so beaten down. So Unity announced earnings on November 9th. We are right below short-term resistance, this red line right here. I think Unity will have no problem breaking this, and I do think that will lead nicely into a rally following their earnings, following their Q3 earnings. And these are just my price targets for Unity right here, as you can see. This price target, March low. I do think at some point Unity is guaranteed to come back up to like $74, $75. Again, similar to Coinbase, when, not if. Let's close it out with Matterport. Matterport looking perfect, you guys. I mean, I've had this exact line drawn, like these two lines drawn for probably a week now. Members of the portfolio can attest to that. But, I mean, to a T, you guys. Just broke this line of resistance beautifully. I do think we're going to see another wave up here. Matterport, although construction and new builds are slow, Matterport's Q2 earnings were amazing. And Matterport was up 10% today, and I think this is just the beginning of another wave to the upside. You can see here following our last earnings, we got up to 740, which is crazy. Crazy parabolic move. Let's do that. In a span of July 26th to August 11th, so just about 2 weeks. Matterport almost 2x'd in 2 weeks. So, I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen this time, but I do think Matterport is severely undervalued right now given its long-term potential, and I think this stock also belongs above $10 when, not if. So that's the video, you guys. I think that was a successful rapid fire. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys are excited about right now, what your favorite stock is in the markets, and of course, let me know if you're ready for those winter waves. Once again, if you do want to join Waves Capital, if you want to become a member of Waves Capital for real, first link down below. And again, welcome to the winning team in advance. I'll talk to you guys in the comments downstairs. And until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace, team.